We are denying all roof claims moving forward. This was said by an insurance company executive on the management team, from what I understand, from an insurance company here in Florida. How did I find out about this? I had a client who filed a roof claim where it got denied, and he called me, and I had an opportunity to speak with the adjuster who called me after I sent in my letter of representation. And he told me point blank, we will be denying all roof claims per management. He didn't say that, but he kind of said, came from the top. This was an off-the-record conversation. It came from the top unless it's a devastating hurricane. Let's talk about this. This is concerning. So if you haven't seen my videos, my name is Mike Keeler. I'm a licensed public adjuster in the state of Florida. I have years and years and years of experience dealing with a variety of claims: roof claims, fire claims, water damage claims, hurricane claims, you name it, I've seen it. So I'm going to make a quick analogy here. Whenever there's some tech-driven company or platform or new process or new software, it usually comes out of where? Silicon Valley, right? Or the Northeast, Boston area, depending on what it is. So insurance companies use Florida to change their strategies around the country. Not all the time. Sometimes it may happen in different places like California, where there's a little bit troubling insurance issue there with auto and home. And then that can be transient across the U.S. as far as a strategy, but a lot of things are tested in Florida. So right now, what we're seeing, based on that insurance company denying all roof claims unless it's a major hurricane, here's the reason why. So in Florida, and again, Florida seems to be probably the guinea pig on what they place on other areas, but other areas do not have the amount of claims of Florida. The weather is Florida because of all the storms, etc. So the strategy seems to be, because a lot of these laws which have recently been passed, thanks to Governor DeSantis, protect the insurance companies. Okay? So these laws protect insurance companies. So the insurance companies have no fear. There's no more bad faith. That ended as of January 1st, meaning if a company doesn't treat you fairly, you have an opportunity to file a bad faith lawsuit, either after a judgment, after the appraisal award. And for years and years and years, Florida, we had where the insurance company had to pay the legal fees. So guess what? There's no more. Any attorney fees have to come from the settlement. So all this has basically empowered the insurance companies. Hence the reason why their strategies have changed. There's nothing they fear anymore. They don't have to fear attorney fees, bad faith lawsuits. They can do whatever the heck they want and walk all over homeowners. We're going to talk about that a little bit more. We're going to look behind the data on the next slide, but as I mentioned, these strategies are being applied all across the USA. You're going to find more and more roof claims being denied in your state, no matter where you're at. They're done paying for new roofs. Even though the policy covers roofs, they're done paying with it, done paying them. There's a reason why. I'll show you the data on the next slide. So you're going to find out the homeowners are going to have to foot the majority of the financial burden of a new roof. This is what they want. And there's several different reasons why. All right. The next two videos, I'm doing a two-part video. So we'll be talking about going into 2024, what to expect. And it's not a good picture for people. So let's look at the claims and percentages of claims based on those specific claims. All right, both by volume and percentage of the claims file. So roof claims, there's a little bit of conflicting data here, but I think pretty much it's somewhat accurate within a few points or two percentage-wise. But in 2022, over $19 billion, this is before Hurricane Ian, wasn't accounted for, but $19 billion, approximately 30% of all homeowners claims were from wind and hail. So basically roof claims underneath the wind and hail. So another stat I saw online was that wind and hail claims amounted for 45% of all homeowners claims in 2020. So you know what, whether it's 34, 45, I think it's safe to say somewhere in the mid 30s to mid 40s. And let's just average it out, 40%. So this is number one. Roof claims from hail and wind, definitely number one claim. Okay, this is why they're tired of paying for these claims. They don't want to pay anymore. So second most claims are water damage and freezing. Okay, second most behind wind and hail. These are about 30% of all claims. Don't forget, give me a thumbs up to like the video and also subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the reasons behind these denials. And like anything, follow the money. Okay, we're going to look at the math. We're going to do the math. You have a 15-year-old roof here in Florida. Shingle. It's cost $21,000 to replace. The homeowner's deductible for wind or hurricane is $6,000. So $21,000 minus the $6,000 deductible. And this $4,000 is the depreciation. So in Florida now, we have what's called ACV, actual cash value. Okay, ACV, actual cash value. What is that? What's the formula? The cost, the replacement cost, okay, minus depreciation. Now, depreciation is a random number, okay? Nobody knows. It's a mythical creature. Who knows what it is? But they'll put a number. And I'm giving you in this example a very modest number of 4,000. It probably would be larger in this instance. Okay, probably closer to 7, 8, 9, maybe 10. Could be 10, yeah. 15 years old. Life expectancy is around 18, 20. So the total payout on that would be 11,000. Now, that's if the insurance company covers it. They're denying them left and right. See, so in Florida, the insurance companies don't have to worry about paying the attorney fees anymore. And based on this amount, the 11,000 approximately, you won't find an attorney who will take the case anymore. Because they will take it on a 40% fee. You might get some attorneys that could take it on 30, 33 1/3, right? Just like a car accident. But that's only $3,000 for them, $3,500. $3,500. They're not going to take this. Attorneys who I work with are already telling me, listen, Mike, unless it's over 50,000, it's not worth our time. This is why the insurance companies are doing this. So as I just showed you, the math. The insurance companies know this. And this is in other states too. The math doesn't favor a homeowner. So if you think about it, if your policy, the most likely claim you're going to have is something to your roof due to wind and hail, and they're basically not really even covering that anymore, what is your policy worth then? It's not worth much. Especially in Florida, where we're having increased rates, higher deductibles. I'm not saying you should go without insurance. Maybe it's something you got to think about because you're paying premiums, and if you have a roof claim, you're not getting anything back. You're paying for something you're never going to use or get benefits from, unless you have a water damage claim or a fire, right? So what can you do? What can you do to fight these creatures? Well, probably should hire a public adjuster or an attorney, although I don't recommend an attorney right off the bat because of the high amount of fees that they're going to be taking. Everything that I've been seeing has been 40% if the lawsuit's been filed. Okay, that's a lot. Let's say you don't hire a PA or attorney. There's just so many things that could go bad now, especially for the Florida people. Don't do it. Just don't, have somebody look at it. I would be happy to go over the math with you to see if it makes sense. You have to kind of take in consideration what the total amount of the roof. Now, this is only if it's roof damage, right? Doesn't include if you have damage to the interior. If you have damage to the interior, it'll be worth it. But if you're only talking about your roof that's damaged, okay, the numbers may not make sense because of what the insurance companies are going to do. So your roofer, the guy who you get a roof estimate from, maybe the guy who said, hey, you called to see if you can get an estimate. You saw shingles on the ground. Oh boy, this is from the wind. So the guy who comes over, the roofer from whatever roofing company or how many roofing companies, let him do a couple things to just verify the damage and give you a quote how much it's going to cost for replacement. Document this damage if possible by chalk, by photos, by videos. Have him do that. Right? Do not let them give you dates for what they perceive the date of a storm to file the claim. They should not give you dates on a storm, and you should not listen to them about the dates that they give you on a specific storm. I've seen so many people get burned because a roofer said, file it on this date. There's claims being made because there was a storm. Not as easy as that. You got to show significant wind, hail, whatever the case may be. They should not attempt to handle your claim to get paid by insurance. In Florida now, they can get in some big time trouble. I believe it's even criminal. I know they can pay a pretty hefty civil price, including losing their license now, roofers. So roofers in Florida can't mess around with this stuff. Got to send it to a PA or an attorney. So as you've seen, the deck is being stacked against us, all homeowners, from the insurance companies. Stay tuned for the next two-part series I'm going to be doing. I'll have it out next week about these roof claims, strategies going into 2024, and what to expect. So my name is Mike Keeler, licensed public adjuster in Florida. Have any questions? Need help with a claim? This is how you guys can get a hold of me. Thanks for watching this video.